Good evening, madam. I am Gayatri. I am studying BSc MPCS second year in TTWRDC for women at Sirsila. Today, I want to give a lecture on basic group theory and its properties. First of all, this group theory, it is one of the concept in the abstract algebra. This abstract algebra is called as modern algebra. And before going to this topic, we must have a knowledge on number system. What is number system and the types of numbers that are included in that number system? Let us discuss here. First of all, the natural numbers. We know that natural numbers are also called as counting numbers, and these natural numbers are denoted by capital N, and it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. And next one is whole numbers. We know that whole numbers are denoted by capital W and starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on to infinity. From these two numbers, we can say that all the natural numbers are whole numbers and all the whole numbers should not be the natural numbers, because 0 is not included in the natural number. So that's why natural numbers are subset to whole numbers, but not whole numbers are subset to natural numbers. Next one is integers. We know that integers are denoted by capital I or capital Z, and it includes all the positive numbers and the negative numbers as well as 0 also. And we can write as minus infinity to minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, like this. And next one is rational numbers. We know that rational numbers are denoted by capital Q, and the definition of this rational number is the numbers which are written in the form of fractional form, that means p by q form, and also considered as in the form decimal form also. In the p by q form, that means here a by b form, a comma b must be belongs to integer set, and denominator b should not is equals to 0. If in case it is equals to 0, here a by 0, then that result is equals to infinity. So that's why denominator should not equals to 0, then only that number is considered as rational number. And if the number is in the form of decimal number, then the number should satisfy two conditions, either terminating number or recurring number. Recurring decimal number means repeating decimal number. For example, I am taking for example for terminating number 3 by 2. Here I am taking 3 by 2. We know that 3 by 2 is equals to 1.5. Here 1.5, is this a terminating decimal number? Yes, because after that 5 digit we are not writing any other digit, so that's why it is a terminating decimal number. And next one, for I'm taking one example for repeating decimal number 10 by 3. We know that 10 by 3 is equals to 3.333 and so on. This is a recurring decimal number in which 3 is repeating, so that's why 10 by 3 comes under rational number. And we can take any example like this and we can understand easily. And next one is irrational number. What is mean by irrational number? The numbers which cannot be in the form of p by q form, that means which cannot be in the fractional form, and also these numbers are non-terminating and also non-repeating decimal numbers. And these irrational numbers are denoted by q dash. I am taking one example for irrational number. We know that root 2 is equals to 1.414213, like that, so on. So this number comes under irrational numbers because this number is satisfies two conditions, non-terminating and also non-recurring. So that's why root 2 is the irrational number. For our convenience, I am taking one more example. We know that pi is equals to 3.141592 and so on. In this case also same. The pi value is non-terminating and also non-recurring. So that's why pi comes under irrational number. And next one and the last one is real numbers. We know that real numbers are denoted by capital R, and all the rational and irrational numbers comes under real numbers. The combination of real rational numbers and the irrational numbers are called as real numbers. And this is the small concept on the number system. Here we have a diagrammatical representation. By seeing this, we can easily understand, we can easily remember in our minds by looking this diagram. So here, first of all, natural numbers are all the natural numbers. All the natural numbers are subset to whole numbers, and all the whole numbers are subset to integers, and all the integers are subset to rational numbers, and all the rational numbers are subset to real numbers, and also all the irrational numbers also subset to real numbers. This is a diagrammatical representation. We can easily remember by seeing this. And the next one, before going to this topic group theory, we must know about the history of the term group, who was introduced the group, and also in which year it was introduced, like that. Here this is the history of the term group. The term group was coined by Galois around 1830 to know the sets functions on finite sets that could be grouped together to form a closed set. And first of all, the term group was introduced by Galois scientist, Galois mathematician, in the year 1830. And later the modern definition of the group is given by both the members. They are Heinrich Weber and also Walter von Dek was introduced the definition of the group in the year 1882. This all about the history of the term group. First of all, the term group was introduced by Galois in the year 1830, and later it was the definition of that group is given by these two members, Heinrich Weber and Walter von Dek, in the year 1882. This is the history of the term group. Next one is binary operation. We must know about the binary operation. So here it is. Now I am considering circle and star. These are the two operations which we can operate on operands. So in this topic we are considering circle and star be the normal operations. Basically we know that addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, these are the four basic operations which we are learned in the earlier classes. But here in this topic we are learning that circle and star be the operations here. Circle and star be the operations here. We can take either circle or star here. Now let G be a set. Let us we are considering G be a set, and we are taking an operation star. When I am taking this operation circle, when this circle became a binary operation, let us see now. I am considering a comma b values, a comma b, that are elements in the G set, and we have to do the operation between a and b, like this, a circle b, because I am taking a circle operation here. As our wish, we can take a star also, then a star b it comes, and a circle b must be belongs to G, then only this then only this circle becomes a binary operation on set G. Then only if a circle B belongs to G, then only circle is considered as a binary operation which is performed on set G. Next one, I am taking here example. Let us take one example. I am taking n set. We know that n set contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means natural number set. I am taking operation is plus operation. When this plus becomes a binary operation, which means, let us take here, I am taking 1, 2 be the elements in the set, natural number set. I am doing operation here. 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. Is this 3 belongs to n? Yes, this 3 is belongs to n. So that's why natural number set, natural n comma plus satisfies this representation. So that's why plus is considered as a binary operation. And next one is, and for our well understanding, I am taking one more example. I am taking same natural number set, but I am changing here operation. I am taking subtraction as an operation. So here subtraction I am taking same 1, 2 or the elements in the natural number set, and here I am doing operation 1 minus 2 is equals to minus 1. Is this minus 1 belongs to natural number set? No, it does not belongs to natural number set. So that's why here minus is not a binary operation on the set n. From this we must have an idea about some operations satisfy and some operation need not to be satisfied. And next one topic is algebraic structure. Now we are taking non-empty set. Same non-empty set n, which means which is not an empty set, which it contains certain elements in it, and which is equipped or together with one or more than one binary operation. Here n comma plus. This is the algebraic structure. Then it is called as algebraic structure. Here it is a non-empty set together with one or more binary operation. Here we must see the binary operation. Here plus is a binary operation. We already know that in the above example. Here plus is a binary operation. So that's why this structure is called as algebraic structure. If in case if we take n comma minus, is this a algebraic structure? No, because minus is not a binary operation. In the above example we already know that minus is not a algebraic structure. So that's why here n comma minus structure is not a algebraic structure. Here r comma plus comma dot is a algebraic structure, and also n comma plus z comma plus q comma plus are also algebraic structure. We can take any set, not only natural number set. We can take integer set, rational number set, real number set, like that. And next one is this is the main groups. This is the main topic in this group theory. Now we are considering G be a non-empty set and star be a binary operation. Now G comma star be the algebraic structure. Here it is said to be group when the following conditions must be satisfied. When the following properties are there that must be satisfied, then only G comma star be a group. It is called as group. First of all, closure property. What is mean by closure property? Let me consider as G. Let us take G as a set, non-empty set, and A comma B. A comma B must be belongs to G, and I'm here taking star. Star is the binary operation here, and this result, when we do operation between those two, all A comma B, A star B must be is equals to G set only. Then only it comes under closure property. So G set satisfies closure property under the operation star, or G comma star algebraic structure satisfies closure property. For example, we can take Z comma plus. For example, I am taking Z comma plus. We know that Z is a set of integers. It consisting of positive numbers, negative numbers, including 0 also. I am taking here Z comma plus. Here when plus becomes a binary operation, here we can see here I am taking 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are the operations I am taking here. 1 and 2 are the elements I am taking here, and with respect to plus we have to do this here. 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. Is this 3 belongs to Z set? Yes. 3 is also a integer. So that's why Z comma plus satisfies closure property. Here Z comma plus satisfies closure property. We didn't take an A star B star here because I took addition here, so that's why here plus is taken. And next one is associative property. Next one is, what is associative property? Let us consider G comma star. Let us consider G comma star be the algebraic structure, and for all A comma B comma C, A comma B comma C must be belongs to G set, such that this condition A star of B star into C is equals to A star B star C, this condition must be satisfied. Then only G comma star satisfies the associative property, or G set satisfies associative property under the star operation. For example, I am taking here whole number set. I am taking here whole number set. We know that whole number set consisting of 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on to infinity. I am here applying operation plus operation here. So we must do the here operation here, and I am considering 0, 1, 2. These are the 3 numbers I am taking from the whole number set, and we have to do the LHS part. That means first we must do A star of B star C, A star of B star C. This is the LHS part, means 0 plus. I am taking here plus because plus is the operation here I am taken, so that's why here plus comes. And here B star C, that means 1 plus 2. This result is equals to 3. This is the LHS value. Like this, in the same way we have to do the RHS part, that is equals to A star B star C. That means 0 plus 1 plus 2. This result is also is equals to 3. This is the RHS part value. Is this LHS equals to RHS? Yes. LHS equals to RHS, and moreover the result is in the same set, whole number set. So that's why W comma plus satisfies associative property, and also we can say that whole number satisfies the associative property under addition. Next one is the identity property. Next one is identity property. What is mean by what is this? For all A belongs to G. For all A belongs to G, there exists an unique element E belongs to G. There exists an unique element E belongs to G such that A star E is equals to A is equals to E star A. This condition must satisfy, then only identity satisfied. For example, I am taking here n comma multiplication. Here I am taking n comma multiplication, and here I am taking the elements are 1 comma 2. 1 comma 2. From the LHS part, here E is equals to 1 and 2 is the A value. Here from the LHS, A star E is equals to value 1 in 2 into 1, that means is equals to 2. And the RHS part, E into A, that means 1 into 2, that is also is equals to 2. That means this satisfies. The natural number set satisfies identity property under the operation multiplication, or multiplication satisfies the identity property. And next one is existence of inverse. Existence of inverse. In this we must learn about for each element A belongs to G, and there exists an unique element B that also belongs to G such that A star B, such that A star B is equals to E is equals to B star A. Then only this inverse property is satisfied, and B is the inverse of A. Then B is called as inverse of A. Here E is a identity element. Here E is a identity element. Now here I am taking A comma B values, and first of all we must take the set. I am taking here Z. I am here plus. I am doing plus operation here. I am taking A is equals to minus 1 and B is equals to plus 1. Here I am doing this operation here according to this condition A star B. First of all we have to do the A star B. That means A plus B. That means here A plus B, because plus is the operation which I chosen. So A plus B means minus 1 plus 1 this result is equals to 0. 0 is the identity element. Next one we have to do the B star A. B star A means B plus A. That means 1 minus 1 is equals to 0. LHS equals to RHS and the identity value is 0. So that's why B is the inverse of A, which means 1 is the inverse of A. This is the all about properties. 4 properties that group must satisfy. G comma star is the algebraic structure. When it is said to be group means when it satisfies the 4 properties. When it satisfies 4 properties, they are closure property, associative property, identity property, and the last one is inverse property. Then only it considered as group. Then the algebraic structure is said to be group. Next one is abelian group. What is mean by abelian group? Let us know here. Here we should take a G comma star. This is the algebraic structure we taken is said to be. It is said to be abelian or commutative group. When it is said to be commutative group means A star. First of all we must know about the commutative property. What is mean by commutative property? Means A star B is equals to B star A. This condition must satisfied for commutative property. Then only this is G comma star is said to be abelian group. For this I am taking one example as n set. I am taking n set. N means natural number set. I am doing operation with respect to plus here. Now I am taking 1 comma 2. Here I am taking 1 comma 2. 1 comma 2 means 1 plus 2 is equals to 3, and 3 belongs to n set. And also doing RHS part, which means B star A means B plus A. 2 plus 1 is equals to 3. Is this 3 belongs to n? Yes, 3 belongs to n. 3 belongs to n. So that means LHS equals to RHS. Then this is said to be commutative property. From this we must know about the abelian group. When it is said to be abelian group means when it satisfies both. When it satisfies all the 5 properties, which means first one is closure property, second one is associative property, third one is identity property, fourth one is inverse property, and also last one is fifth one commutative property. It must satisfy all the 5 properties, then only it is considered as abelian group. This all about the properties, and we can take any examples. Not only this, we can take several examples like this for these properties also. Next one topic is groupoid. What is groupoid? Groupoid is nothing but, here also we are taking algebraic structure. G comma star is a algebraic structure. When it is said to be groupoid means which is satisfied the closure property, which means A star B belongs to G for all A comma B belongs to G, which means from the set G, A comma B, and then A star B must be belongs to also same set G. Then only groupoid. Then only it is considered as groupoid. And next one is semigroup. What is semigroup? Here also we are taking algebraic structure G comma star is, and when it satisfies 2 properties, closure property and associative property. When it satisfies both these properties only, it is comes under semigroup. And next one is monad. Here also we are taking G comma star is a monad. When it satisfied three properties, that are closure property, associative property, identity property, then only it is comes under monad. This all about properties, abelian group, groupoid, semigroup and monad. This is a clear information about that. And next one is addition modulo m and multiplication modulo m. Next one topic is addition modulo m and also multiplication modulo p. For this we have to consider A comma B, that the values are must be belongs to integers. First of all, we must learn about the addition modulo m, which means and here p is a positive integer. P is a positive integer, such that we must try written it in the form a plus b by m is equals to r. Here a plus b is a unary addition, and we must do the division with respect to positive integer m. So here then we get the remainder r, and r should lies between 0 and m. That means 0 less than or equals to r less than m. So then it is called as addition modulo. Then it represented as a plus addition modulo m b is equals to r. This is represented in the form of this. For this example I am taking a plus b. For a is equals to t 2 and b is equals to 3 and the positive integer is equals to 2. Here a plus b, normal addition is a plus b is equals to 2 plus 3. Here 2 plus 3 by 2 means 5 by 2. 5 by 2 means whenever we do division we get remainder as 1, so r equals to 1. And next one is multiplication modulo. Multiplication modulo means let us take here same like this, but we are taking here multiplication here a into b by p. Here a comma b are the integers and p is the positive integers, and it can be represented as a multiplication modulo p, b is equals to r. From this we get r means remainder. For example, we are taking a is equals to 3 and b is equals to 4 and p is equals to, we are taking 3. We are taking p least positive integer, fixed positive integer as p. We are taken as 3. Now we are doing normal multiplication. 3 into 4 is equals to 12. 12 by 3. 12 by 3 is easily divisible by 3. 12 is easily divisible by 3 and we get remainder is equals to 0. Hence r value is equals to 0. Hence this is my lecture on this topic, group theory, ma'am. Thanking you, ma'am.